Kenny Blake Clark began his life on a farm in the Texas Panhandle. Now, fast forward, he conducts choral ensembles across the globe, working with such luminaries as John Elliott Gardner and the Berlin Philharmonic. And now he is in Baltimore as the music director of Baltimore Choral Arts. Blake, welcome.
Thank you for having me
here.
here.
It's great to have you. Yeah. I know there's been a lot of buzz about your coming here. You're beginning your second year, and you had a good first year here.
We had a great first year. It was a whirlwind, but it was fun, amazing, and great choir. So who could complain?
So I've had a chance. You know, many of us had a chance to see your work, but I'd like to talk a little bit about you and kind of how you finally arrived here in Baltimore.
Okay.
I mentioned you grew up, you know, in Texas. What kind of music did you listen to when you were a kid?
Wow, well, when I was a kid, so my grandparents and my parents both helped me foster a love of music, and it was a little bit of everything, but it was actually, especially for being a rural boy, it was uncharacteristically geared toward classical music.
So, but you were drawn to it, despite the fact that your parents and your grandparents liked it.
I was definitely drawn to it. I think in the beginning it was just let's expose our children to everything, and then it was sort of, you know, Blake is picking up Mozart and deciding that's a good thing. So it became more and more of that. Lots of classic, like pre-1965 Broadway.
You and I are very similar on that.
Oh, of course. And of course, you know, I had my fair share of country. And when I was taking violin lessons in the summers, our Suzuki program would halt, and we would do hoedown music for 3 months, almost 3 months.
Wow.
And so
you're a violinist. That's how you started.
Yes, that was how I started. I think I was getting into a little bit of trouble in kindergarten, and my kindergarten,
geez.
oh yes, and being the class clown and all that, and so my kindergarten teacher told my parents, you know, all my daughters take violin, and I know Blake is musically inclined. I see it, and you know it. And so you should get him into violin lessons, and that was where it started. And I think it instilled a lot of discipline musically.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's,
I
mean, it's tough.
And all of that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And technically, it makes students from a very young age strive for technical prowess, which is something that's not always achieved in music lessons. So I think stringed instruments are really good for that.
Okay, so there's one thing, you liked it as a kid, but then what inspired you to say, okay, I'm going to actually make a career out of music?
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't particularly remember this, but my parents tell me that I would break apart pant hangers, you know, the little cardboard part, and I would pretend that was a baton, and I would conduct the music to the television, and particularly Cecil B. DeMille's Ten Commandments, because that's an Elmer Bernstein score. It's really good. So I guess it's always sort of been there, and just it's kind of always been. I had a brief stint where I wanted to be an author, but then it was back to music. I don't know. I think it's just always sort of been the trajectory
for you,
in some form or fashion.
Okay, so you started as a violinist, then you decided you were going to conduct. But why choral? It could have been instrumental. Could have been.
Yeah, well, I do conduct instrumental and choral, and I think it's vital that we make sure that choral musicians can conduct instrumental ensembles as well. So that's one of my missions in life, is to make sure that's a possibility. But I went to undergraduate. I wanted to be a composer, so I went and got a composition degree. And while I was there, I was in all the choirs, and I just sort of realized that I understand it. I think I'm pretty okay at it, and I thought that I could probably make a difference in the choral music world, and it's just very inspiring. And we have this gift of text and words, and you can communicate in such an easy way that maybe, you know, us violinists have a little bit, we have one more degree of separation between the story we're telling, because we don't have words.
Right.
So that's really, that's very intriguing to me.
Yeah, okay. So, and then how do you see classical music fitting in today's world? I mean, that's a discussion that goes on all the time. It's something that you face at Choral Arts as well. Yep. So how do you see this going?
Honestly, I don't see it going any differently than it has, because I think that classical music always has and always will have cultural value. I think our task is to make sure that the kids of today get a really strong, thorough education, so that they see its value and that they can participate themselves.
And how do you see playing into that goal? You personally?
Choral Arts?
Yeah.
We at Choral Arts, we have a big education initiative. We're working with Legg Mason in their powerhouse plant to make sure that we're providing arts education in that regard. We go into high schools with our chamber chorus, which is mostly professional singers, and we basically do musical exchanges back and forth and teach the power of choral music. You know, it's a community. You'll never be lonely if you sing in a choir. That's true.
That's true.
It affects your mental health in a positive way. It makes you smarter.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many benefits to singing and music in general. And at GW as well. That's a big mission for me. I teach at GW.
Teach there as well, yeah.
And you know, I'm teaching basically the next generation of political leaders and international affairs majors who will go on.
Terrific. I expect a lot out of those.
Exactly.
We need
they need to be the proponents of the future of this.
Terrific. Well, look, it was great talking with you. So much more to talk about, but I wish you great luck and success in your season.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks. I'm Carolyn Blacksotier, and this is Smarts, the Baltimore County Arts and Culture Show.